All right, I had some reservations about doing this video, but so to be perfectly clear, I don't have either one of these cards. I don't have an RX 7900 XTX, and I don't have an RX 7900 XT. Don't have either one. In order for me to get that, I'm too small of a channel to be able to get something like that for review. Unless I bought it myself, I'd have to pull the trigger very quickly, get it shipped to me very quickly, and this video there would be no way that I would be able to have that in time to be able to do this video. It just logistically it would not happen. I had intended to do a different video this evening, but my schedule kind of got moved around and weirded around when I started. I guess I played it by ear 2 or 3 videos back, and I'm still trying to get back all my ducks back in a row. I don't know where all my ducks are. I don't even think they're in the same pond, much less the same row. But that has nothing to do with these video cards. If you've watched any of the reviews that are out there, there's a bunch of them out there now, and some people will tell you that these cards are really, really good. Some people will tell you they're very disappointed in these cards. Some people will tell you it's not worth the money, and some people will tell you that it's absolute trash. What are my thoughts on it? My thoughts are these two cards are not the ones that are competing with NVIDIA's top of the line. We're talking about AMD's 7900 XTX and XT. Both of these cards slot right alongside on either side, basically performance-wise, of their RTX 4080, which is their second graphics card down the stack. Both companies right now only have 2 cards out. Their top tier and the one directly underneath it. NVIDIA's case, their performance is much, much better in the RTX 4090, but that card's a behemoth. It takes basically 4 slots and a case. Sometimes it basically just won't fit in some cases. Also, the power connector has caused some concerns with people, and I'm sure that I'm not going to go into all that. You can Google all that stuff, but there's been a lot of controversy surrounding this launch. And then the launch of the 4080 was marred because there was going to be 2 different 4080 SKUs, or 2 different models of the 4080, one with more memory, one with less memory. And you think, okay, well, that's not too bad. Maybe they could do something like AMD did with XTX and XT and just let you know that they're a little bit different. No, because they were physically going to make them with different architecture on different dies, on different processing dies. So your graphics processor on the one with more memory would be an upper tier, and the one with less memory would actually be the step down. Well, now NVIDIA has actually changed their mind, and they're going to release that as allegedly release that as the 4070 Ti, which is going to be an upper scale, mid-range to upper scale. Cost is something we haven't talked about either. You are expected, if you're an enthusiast and want this graphics card, the 4090, you're expected to shell out a minimum of $1,600 because that's the manufacturer's suggested retail price, $1,600. It's like $1,599 or something. For a little bit less, $1,200 basically, you can get the RTX 4080. Why do I bring this up? Because I bring this up to tell you that AMD's new releases, their 2 cards that go on either side of the 4080, slot in $200 and $300 cheaper than NVIDIA's card. And you think, well, that's good. That's a good thing, right? Yes and no. AMD's card is less expensive, $200 to $300 less expensive, depending on which model you're looking at or which model you're getting. But it also misses some of the features that a lot of people have become, I don't want to say dependent on, but certain people have come to use certain things, like, for instance, ray tracing. The NVENC encoder that I would use to render this video or make a video or something like that, or if I'm streaming online, that encoder that's built into that GPU is proprietary to NVIDIA. AMD doesn't have it. Now, they do have a different encoder, but we're going to have to see how well that matures. If that's going to mature, sort of like wine, or if that's just going to, who knows? So some people are reliant on those features that are on the NVIDIA cards that are missing from the AMD cards. So in AMD's right mind, they can't really charge that much anyway. So the price is probably fair. But the fault is AMD picked a price that was underneath NVIDIA's to, I guess, maybe undercut the competition or offer something that's lower price. What they probably should have done was just set their own price and not worried about NVIDIA anyway. Now, that could have been a very, very good thing, especially if they're looking out for the consumer. Because if they're putting something out that's at a lower price, then it's going to be more appealing, and the rest of the stack that goes down will be something you and I can buy if we're more budget minded. We're looking for that mid-range GPU, or we're looking to upgrade something from what we already have in our system. During the conundrum, we scrimped and saved and got lucky, and we got a decent video card. Now we're looking to upgrade something, and how much is it going to cost us? Probably just as much, like an arm and a leg, just like some of these video cards we were able to buy when the entire world was suffering the conundrum. Now, NVIDIA has left all kinds of room. They can price anything the way they want. Obviously, they can name anything the way they want. They can do whatever. And in some cases, the older series, I don't know if any of you guys have been paying attention to this, last generation's mid-range cards, there's one called the RTX 3060 Ti. This is a tried and true card, very good card, not too bad in the budget, but NVIDIA has decided to redo the architecture of this card and charge you the same price for it. The card's 2.5 years old. So they are going to take a card that was pretty good, they're going to kneecap it, and they're going to charge you the same price or a little bit more for something that's older technology. But you know what? People are going to buy it. You know why? Because it's what they can get a hold of, or because they truly love NVIDIA, or they don't know any better. They don't look on the box and see. The average person that walks in to go buy something for their computer, or they go buy something as a gift for somebody, or they go buy something when they're building a system, or whatever the case is, if they're not aware of the difference, they're paying as much or more for something that is an inferior product. It's not the first time NVIDIA has done that. They did that with something called a GT 1030 as well, where they put DDR5, a faster memory on one, and DDR4, much slower memory on the other, and try to pawn them off for the same price, basically. So they've done stuff like that before. It's not really good practice. So to get back to the whole AMD thing, now that you've set your top-of-the-line card at $1,000, and it can be had for around $1,000, maybe a little bit more. The 7900 I've seen in stock in a few places for just a little bit more for the board partners, people that also manufacture that instead of just AMD. Those cards are a little bit more expensive, not too bad. I'm glad to see that they haven't gone completely crazy like NVIDIA has with the RTX 4080, because a lot of folks were buying those cards for insane prices and thinking they're going to turn them over, and guess what? Nobody bought them. So good for everybody out there that didn't buy one. It kind of tells the company that the consumer thinks that's too much money. But if people are going to buy it, they're going to keep charging us. In any event, what AMD is forced to do now, not only do they kind of make NVIDIA pay attention to their pricing a little bit, but now they've got a top-end price on their stack. And all the ones that come after that have to be lower in price by at least $50 to $75 or $100. So you will eventually, when you have 2 or 3 steps down, or 3 or 4 steps down from their top-of-the-line card, you're going to fit something into a budget where it might be more than we want to pay, but it might be affordable. And AMD has a habit a lot of times of adjusting pricing a little while after something comes out. Just look at their CPUs right now. Their processors, they're coming down in price. You've got a lot of them that are really, really good processors that are in the budget range, $150 or less. Similar things with GPUs. Now, it's around Christmas, and prices have crept back up just a little bit. You know, we were looking not too long ago at an RX 6600, just a regular RX 6600, which is a mid-range card, selling for around $200, which is a great deal. Now those are creeping back up to about $260, $270, some cases $280, and I got a feeling it's because of Christmas. Well, we'll see when all the rest of the video cards become available, and it's after the holidays, what happens when you have stock that you really do have to get rid of and nobody's buying anymore. Price has to come back down. So now NVIDIA and AMD, mainly AMD, is forced to price their product, their lower tier products, at an affordable rate. So in a way, it's good for us. I really, really wish they would have just come out of the gate and said, you know what, this is our top of the line card. It's not as good as the competition, but that's all right, because we're only going to charge you X amount of dollars and put it out there for 750 or 800 bucks. It's expensive, but then you knew that some of these other cards coming out that were lower tier would be very affordable, and that would absolutely be good for the consumer. Do I like the whole deal? No. Am I going to buy one of these cards? Probably not. I just don't have the budget for it. My channel mainly deals with more budget type or budget friendly type stuff, and I can't see going out and spending $1,000 on a graphics card when I can build an entire system for $1,200 or $1,300. That's a great system. I can get used parts for even cheaper than that, and I can buy brand new parts and spend less than $1,000 and have a very good computer. So I'm able to do what I want to do. I'm able to play the games I want to play, and I don't have to have a nosebleed to be able to do it. So I think I'm going to wait. And if you're at all budget conscious, and if you're watching this channel, you probably are in some way or another, then I would encourage you to wait also. There's got to be announcements at the Consumer Electronics Show coming up in January. They're going to have, I'm sure, NVIDIA, AMD, even Intel will have announcements. Don't turn too far away from looking at Intel's graphics cards either. They're bound to get some driver stuff figured out, and if they still stick to putting out graphics cards, they might be enough to make both of these companies kind of have to push their prices down a little bit. Nah, NVIDIA is going to price it however they want. They're going to gouge you, and people will pay it because they want the best of the best. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I don't have a sample to review. I'm not going to buy one of these cards yet. It's going to be a little while, so if that's something you're curious about, there's more than enough reviews out there. Gamers Nexus, Jay's 2 Cents, Paul's Hardware, Bitwit, Hardware Canucks, of course, Linus Tech Tips. Did I say Hardware Unboxed? I don't know if I did or not. Several reviews out there. Go look at any one of them. Go see any one of them, or go watch more than one. Kind of get an idea. There's vastly different opinions on how these cards are, the performance, and what to expect. So I guess we're just gonna have to stay tuned. Save your money. Use it on something else. Pay down a credit card. Buy something else. But whatever you do, just don't waste your money. If your computer's doing what you want it to do right now, hold off for a little while, Anyway, that is all I have for right now. Don't forget to visit me on the other socials, the gaming channel, read my blog at buymeacoffee.com. The website is That Paul Guy Tech. Anything that I have that I've reviewed recently or built with or whatever, I'll usually try to put in a section called Recent Products. Don't be afraid to do that. If you see products in there and you click on those, do keep in mind that those are Amazon links. They will take you to Amazon. It does help the channel out a bit. It doesn't cost you any money, so it's a good thing, right? The very, very last thing I'm going to ask you, besides doing all that YouTube stuff, is just be nice to each other, especially this time of year and beyond. Just smile, wave, hold the door open, something. Let somebody into traffic, whatever. Something small, something. It might seem something small or might seem insignificant to you. It might make somebody's day. You never know. Anyway, as I was saying, that is all I have. So until I get back to my regularly scheduled messing everything up, that's going to be it for today. So I'll see you later.